Hello and good evening. It's Wednesday and I am going to continue the Black Coach. Bonk. How are you? You alright? I don't like this brush, I think. Doing fine? I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Today was a boring day at work. Very slow. So I'm glad that I'm home, that I'm painting. Same old, really. Same old. Are you up to much tonight? Or today, I suppose. Oi, 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 that was loud. Why are my... Do not need that loud. Makes me wonder what I was watching here that I've got the volume up so loud on my earphones. Can you make some meringues? Nice. Very nice. Love a good meringue. Are you going to do anything with them, or are you just going to enjoy them as they are? My mum used to make like a vanilla chocolate chip meringue ice cream. I should really make that sometime. It was really not very difficult if I remember correctly. And it doesn't have to be actual created meringues. You can, or like proper baked meringues, you could use shop bought, which is not as good, obviously, but if it's going straight into ice cream, I don't feel like that's a big problem. This brush. Ay, ay, ay. I'm trying to work out. I could probably use this instead. They found their cheap snack for having a sugar boost to get through the final couple of hours of work shifts. Yeah, that's fair. I like how they, No, George, you don't chew on the doormat. I like how they, how they melt in your mouth if you, like, put some on your tongue and you can squish them up against your palate. I enjoy that. They do store for yonks. Super long. But I have to admit, I've never made them myself, so that would be something I should try probably at some point. Literally just poured water in this cup and I've already got 2 dog hairs in it. How? Super simple. 2-ounce glass of sugar per 1 egg white. Oh, that's cool. And then whip until stiff and portion out and bake on... It's low, isn't it? Quite low heat for a long time. Because you want them to cook but not to brown, I think, if I remember correctly. Whisk egg whites till stiff, add sugar slowly, put on a tray in the oven. 130, 140, 90 minutes, yeah. Oh, that's it. You can't let them air cool. You need to just turn the oven off and... Do they collapse otherwise? Is that... If they cool too quickly, is that right? Or... No idea, it's just how you ground it. That's nice though that you have a recipe from a grandmother. My grandmother was not a big fan of cooking. She had to cook because she had seven kids and a husband who all needed food. But I've been told she didn't particularly enjoy it. So she always, when we came to stay when we were little, she always brought out the tried and tested, and usually she bought like quite expensive pieces of meat. But then always overcooked the green beans or the runner beans. And I feel like the meat was always medium to well done, or on its way to well done. She did make gravy though, and she made it with fries normally. So as a kid, I was always quite happy because we had fries and we had meat and or little potato croquettes. We could have we could make little well, we called them taartjes, little pastries. We would lengthways cut open the aardappel croquetjes, potato croquettes, and then put some mayo in them and some green beans and then some meat, and then we would eat that. Yeah, good memories. But I remember my mum getting a little bit. Good evening, Ben. You all right? Because every time we had food there, the message always was, if you can't eat it now, you'll have to take it with you. And that wasn't like we can't eat it at the dinner table, because she would never like make you eat stuff at the dinner table, but she would buy, we would be there, my mum, my brother and I would stay there for a weekend, and she would buy like 20 white rolls, 2 loaves of brown bread, loads of like cold cuts and stuff to go on the sandwiches, and way too much. You should always, I think it was, I want to think it was kindness, but we would always end up with a car full of like leftovers that she would give to my mum, to the point that my mum was actually getting really uncomfortable. She's like, no mum, stop buying so much, just, we're only here for 2 days, don't do anything crazy. But yeah. You grew up with your gran, always baking. They had chicken farms, had an abundance of eggs, so they had to something. Yeah, awesome. Big fan. Fresh eggs is like amazing. Like my nan also had chickens probably about the first 6 years of my life, I think. But then she got rid of the chicken coop and the chickens. I think she gave them to her neighbour down the road who also had chickens. She hated cleaning the chicken coop, so that used to be her husband's job, I think. And when he passed, she was just left with this job that she hated. My grandpa was very much into his birds, songbirds mostly, if I remember correctly. I had a whole, I call it voliere, so it's basically a large bird room, essentially. I was always looking after the birds, but they went fairly quickly after my grandpa died, so it makes me think that my grandma got rid of them. But that's awesome. It's nice when you have these family recipes and stuff that gets passed on. My mum has always been a good cook. I've always been very grateful for how we were fed as kids, because we didn't have a lot of money, but we always ate well, so that was very, very nice. And it also meant that my brother and I both tried out a lot of things, so we didn't end up in a situation where we like we're really fussy eaters or anything like that. My brother started as a little bit of a fussy eater when he was younger, but like he wouldn't eat vegetables unless they were completely pureed into a pasta sauce or something like that. So my mum just started him with she would blanch some vegetables like some broccoli and some carrot and cauliflower and stuff like that, and she would give us a little, like a bowl of yogurt dip, and all of a sudden when he was able to dip stuff, he did like it, so taught my brother to enjoy food. And now he's like me, he basically eats anything and everything. There was one thing that he doesn't. BDP! Hi Gary, you alright? How have you been? BDP. You're not alright? Oh no, what's going on? And thank you. It's a bit boring. Well, it's not boring, but it's just like yeah, it's not my usual fare. But I bought some of these like palazzo trousers, like the wraparound ones that you have to like ribbon clothes, and I put them on this morning with this top, and then realized that they were actually like, they look fine when you put them on, but I should have bought a bigger size, because the moment I started walking I would have like a split all the way up to my thigh, and like I think that's probably not how I wanted to go out. So I quickly changed my trousers, but I didn't change my top, so I was talking about it'll be a huge mess, but you hate lying to the... Okay, fair enough, now I get it. It's oh, thank you for the hydrate. And for the stretch. No, I agree. It's one of those. Yeah, fine, and then internal screaming commences. Spoilers, they were not fine. Well, whatever the problem is, I hope you're able to resolve it, or that it resolves itself, and that things work out for you soon. And you are welcome to vent if it helps, because I know sometimes it can help. Thanks for caring. Yeah, of course. Hard not to. Would be 50 paragraphs, oh god. Accumulation of crap piling up. Yeah. Thank you for the lurk, White Wolf. I actually pre-opened a Twitch tab so I can lurk back, but you're not on yet. Give me 2 seconds. Would be more like a ping pong ball in a room with mouse traps, oh god. That sounds somewhat problematic. Saying there is a problem is helpful. Yeah. No, it's actually just go lurk White Wolf when he streams. Gary should be streaming though. I feel like that'd be fun to watch. White Wolf have been shouting about spreading rumors. What kind of rumors? You'd feel bad if you knew how much social anxiety you have. Oh no. Well, for what it's worth, so does he. You were starting streaming, so he was shouting out. Oh, wait. Am I following you yet? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Phew. I like the idea of him shouting you out and then suddenly people expecting you to be streaming. You're like, well, I don't actually stream, what on earth? Thank you for the lurk. Have fun with the meringues. Put a picture in the Discord when they're done. I'd like to see how they come out. If you are willing, that is. The peer pressure from White Wolf, though, is funny. Like me asking you every day when DocCon is. Oh god. Yeah, that would be problematic. What I would do in that case is I would probably say on the same day that WolfCon is. So, haven't you heard? We're sharing a venue. Just throw that shit right back at him. See if he started his stream yet. Yes, he has. Ook. I'm gonna lurk back, see if I can actually type this with my keyboard stuck underneath my screen.
It was nice to reach into my Skaven.
Should not apologies. Yeah, that should be turned off. So hopefully that. If you had Wolfcon and DocCon in the same building, why would leave early and play marching band? Yeah, he probably would. He's like, later losers, I'm going streaming. Or painting. Bless him, he's too kind for this world though. He ridiculously generous. Oh, bless Jakes for shouting me out. I should don't know. I think everyone who's here has already followed White Wolf as well, so I feel like a shout out to White Wolf probably a bit redundant at this point. Are you doing anything this week, Gary? And everyone else, I suppose. I gotta say, I am already. You wish you had anything planned? Yeah, there's still time, you can plan something still. Can you maybe plan a little trip to like your local hobby store or something? Or a movie night or something like that? We are probably going to go to B&Q on Sunday to get some shelves to put up on the wall behind us. You live in a small place in Honsley, don't really have any friends around anymore. You don't have to have a movie night in person. The only movie nights I ever have are remote. Like one person streams it on Discord and we all just watch the stream. Because none of my friends live local either, and like you, I don't really have an awful lot of friends, like friends. So, or at least that's the impression I got from what you just said. Might just be that they've just moved away and it's more difficult to meet up, in which case, apologies. I did not mean to imply that you're yeah, like I said, it's friendship means a lot of different things to different people. Your expectations are as valid as anyone's. Yeah, that's true. That's just, I've been burned in the past, and I sort of have the expectation that people are going to shit on a friendship, and I'm very bad at maintaining friendships as well, which also doesn't help. I forget to message people, or I feel like they probably don't want to hear from me, so I tend to not reach out. And I know it's silly, because I would hope that they'd tell me if that was the case. But it can be quite hard to sort of maintain that. It can sort of like, I also very often just don't have the mental bandwidth to do stuff with friends, which is a little bit challenging. I tend to burn out really quickly, and I'm not the best company after a long day, or even after a short day. Short day some days. But I feel like the friends that I do have are good people, and I appreciate them very much. And I feel like it's not the quantity isn't important as long as the quality is there. I think personally I'd be exhausted if I had more than a handful of friends. Just trying to maintain all of those relationships. Oh God. No pressure. Living with a partner does help with the friendship void in most ways. Yeah, exactly. Friends? Yeah, Ben. It's hard. See, I didn't just drop my model. Of course not. That'd be silly. I think I might give him a darker cloak. I think that might be cool. Yeah. But yeah, living with a partner does help. I am very lucky because Nivian and I are both homebodies and enjoy our own space as well as each other's company. So we don't very often need or feel the need to chip in peace. Yeah. Yeah, we don't often feel the need to socialize, but it's nice when it does happen. Yeah, fortunately I have a very spongy desk mat underneath there, which is usually prevents things from snapping to bits if I drop them. I say usually because it has happened in the past, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday because my friend and Nick's stepsister is coming over. I'm gonna pick her up when I pick up Nick from work, and then we'll have some food, hang out for a bit, and then when we're all tired and fed up of socializing, I'm gonna take her back home, drop her off, and that should be nice. She's just as anxiety-ridden as I am, so we we can talk each other off ledges like nobody's business. had a pretty chill day at work today because our bookkeeper, or she's an accountant technically, but she does our bookkeeping. Lady came in. It's always nice to have a bit of company in the office. I'm normally in there on my own or with my boss, but he's sort of on. He's not really on vacation, but he's doing like half shifts this week and time off today because it's his mum's 60th. So he's apparently they've like rented like a cabin or something like that. I believe he said Needham Market, and all his family are there, and they've brought all the kids. It's quite funny because they're having a great time and I can't think of... I can think of... I was going to say, I can't think of anything worse. That's not true. I can think of lots of things that are way worse. But they're one of these really quite close-knit families. So they see each other quite a lot. Which is nice. But I would not want to hang out with the whole family and everyone's kids and stuff. Just be exhausted by the end of it. It's not very charitable, I suppose, but it is the truth, unfortunately. I guess if you have your own kids, it's probably quite nice to have them play with their cousins. Kind of situation you want one person you come with to be your social anchor, takes the edge off. Yeah, exactly. I think they have like cabins for the families, like because it's like from what I understood, it's almost like a compound with like a hot tub and a swimming pool and stuff, and they've all just rented stuff there, so they'll hopefully have somewhere to retreat to as well if they need a break themselves. But it's quite funny, it was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I think so far every birthday, every Christmas, I've given him like a little present. Because for some reason their families don't really do presents, unless it's for the kids. And I find that quite sad. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but just something to show that you've thought of the other person. And usually when I buy him something, it's usually hot sauce related, because he loves a hot sauce. And I was talking to him about sambal the other day, which is like, I think it's technically an Indonesian condiment made with chilies and stuff. And he said he'd never had it, so obviously I had to buy him some sambal and some more spicy sauces to put over his lunch. You know sambal? Sambal's so good. It's one of the advantages of growing up in Amsterdam, is the Indonesian food and all the tokos everywhere. You can get really, really, really good food. It's probably apart from like my family, the only thing that I really miss from now living here in England. I reckon if I lived in a big city or something, I'd probably be able to get Indonesian food there as well. But in the Netherlands, it's way more common thanks to our colonial history. So nothing to be proud of, but very appreciative of the amazing food that the Indonesian. If sriracha is a hot dog, sambal is a bratwurst, yeah, I think I agree. It's just a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more oomph to it than a hot dog. I feel like sriracha hasn't really got that finesse or something. Saying that, knowing full well that there's going to be someone who's an absolute fiend for sriracha sauce and is going to be really upset that I've just said that it's not a very sophisticated flavor. I like both, but I prefer sambal. I'll take the bullet. Sriracha is lousy. Yeah. This is going to sound really, really weird, but Ed Sheeran did a hot sauce thing a while ago. And his hot sauces are actually really tasty. They're Tingly Ted hot sauces. If I can find them, I normally have a bottle of each of the strength in my fridge because I prefer them to like sriracha. My god, the other spicy sauce. I was doing so well and then I started thinking about it and lost it. Yeah, Tingly Ted isn't particularly spicy, it's just flavoursome with some heat to it. In my opinion, anyway. I know that flavours are very subjective, unless you're like a Michelin star rated chef. If you say sriracha, I'm going to say sriracha because I feel like I have just broken it. If you say that's lousy, do you also think hot dogs are lousy? Because you made the comparison earlier. I personally don't mind hot dogs, but unless I can have sauerkraut with them, I wouldn't necessarily pick them. if that makes sense. I don't dislike them, but they're not my favorite. And I feel like a hot dog, like another heat warning. Heat is only about 39 Celsius. Only. Oh, that's nothing. That's boiling. I suppose maybe if it's a dry heat, it's not so bad. English heat is muggy as all hell. And it makes it almost impossible to enjoy actual hot days. Index in the low 40s when you mowed last, all things relative. Hilarious sentence to have in the 90s, yeah. Not a dry heat, huh? Muggy. I do appreciate the Celsius temperatures. I would not be able to deal with Fahrenheit. I wouldn't be able to convert it. I feel here you could sort of swim in the moisture in the air. It was so hot and muggy. They kept giving thunderstorm warnings, and then they wouldn't arrive. So you'd be hoping for a thunderstorm, and it never showed. %60 humidity, yeah. It's not fun. Let's see what it is here. I'm pretty sure I am. See the weather. Yes, reject all. If I say don't know if there's a... Yeah, the humidity at the moment today was 57. At the moment it's 57. And it's rising to 65, 67 and 68. And then tomorrow, 71, 73, 75 humidity. 82, here we go. So yeah, bananas. Gramps, how are you? And of course you gave Celsius, you're here to convey info, not hear yourself talk. Well, I appreciate it. It's not often that people think ahead and realize that they're talking to someone in Europe who probably would struggle with Fahrenheit. A couple of weeks ago there was a rain that came in and the temperature was already hot, went up. Oh god. How does that even happen? That's bananas. I feel like... Oh, you put pictures up. Ah, sick. I love the colors, Gramps. They're really, really cool. They look like they're really fun models as well. Did you enjoy painting them? You prefer Fahrenheit because the degrees are smaller and so that the given temps feels more accurate. I suppose. Never really thought of that, to be honest. I suppose you're right. Two more to go, but the price can't complain with a little clean up to do, but nothing major. Yeah, no, it's 3 models for 12 quid is really not bad. Great practice ones, yeah, I bet. It's nice to feel like there's not a lot of pressure on a model if you don't spend a lot of money on it. It's the downside of Games Workshop models, I feel. It's the pressure to perform or to paint something really well because you spent a good portion of your money on them. It just doesn't feel very nice if it doesn't come out very nice. Still a long way to go on your shading. I mean, it takes time, right? Are you using contrast paint? You said you were not just using acrylics, right? At the moment? Just normal paints? Are you using your normal paints as shading paints as well, or are you do you have like washes and stuff to help with that? Straight paints and washes. Oh, okay, you have washes. Okay, that's all right. So it does help to use washes, especially if you're not super confident yet about where the paint needs to go. They do help. Oh, nice. I do like Army Painter. The only thing that surprised me a lot about the Army Painter washes is the dark tone, I think it is. Let's see where it is on the shelves now. Don't know where it went. Oh, up there. I think I'm not sure if it's an older version or if there might be a newer one, but the dark tone at least dried really glossy. Very strange. I had hoped that my new brushes would have arrived by now, but sadly not. You don't think the dragons came out too bad? Have another look. No, they look really cool. I like the contrast between the the higher raised areas and the sort of especially the edge next to the tail on the green one. Very cool. Very cool. You got some Rosemary & Co brushes, nice. Yeah, I'm waiting for some Rosemary & Co brushes to arrive as well. I got a dispatch yesterday, I want to say. So hopefully tomorrow. It's all my fault. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes. Well, I'm very glad I've been able to inspire you to pick up a paintbrush and paint some minis, because it certainly helps me a lot with managing my my moods and everything, and having painting as an outlet is really it's really helped me to be more stable. And if nothing else, it's a very nice way to get some of these creative juices flowing. The coach will be your next buy. Nice. Yeah, it's quite the model. Be careful when you build it, because on these guys, the ghosty boys, they these two specifically, they come with bits that attach to the coach, and it's very easy to mistake them for sprue and clip them off, but they're actually part of the actual coach to be able to glue them on. So yeah, be mindful of that when you build it. But from what I've been told, it's a fairly straightforward kit to build. I didn't actually build this one. Nivian did, so I didn't really get involved this time. So you got green in your head. Ooh. Yeah, I'm planning on adding like this sort of green to the tips of the ends of the ghosty bits to sort of suggest that ethereal, ghostly glow. Yeah, exactly. Ethereal green. For once, I wanted to do something slightly more box arty. So hence the slightly more box arty color scheme on this. Should be a negative. Don't have to be. God darn it. Stay in there. I have a rogue hair on my brush. Like, the nice thing about painting is that even if two people use the exact same color scheme, it can still come out completely different. So I would 100% paint things the way you want to paint it and not worry about how other people have painted things in the past. Especially if you're looking online for inspiration. You'll end up not like, and you'll end up with like paralysis because everything you can think of has already been tried. George, my guy, can you be careful with my tripod, please, so my camera doesn't go all over the place? Just had a thought. Is Zombie not streaming? Maybe not. Puts too much in your head, you tend to look, now you got away from the box. You think, how would I do it if it was leather carving? Yeah, well, I think a lot of it, a lot of these skills are transferable. You're able to use like negative space and where to put shadows and stuff. All these skills that you've already developed over all these years doing your leatherworking should, in theory, carry over to an extent. In theory. Do you still do leatherworking, or have you, Dr. Boydzerg, thank you so much for the raid. How are you? How did your stream go? Give us a shout out. S.O. Bonk. Don't know if I am following you yet. If I'm not, I will do that now. I wasn't yet, but I am now. Thank you so much for the raid. Great stream. Finished up painting a squad of Necron Immortals. Very nice. Very nice. Did you enjoy? Thank you for the follow. I've never painted any Necrons yet. They are on the list because I do of things that I want to paint at some point, because they do look like something I might enjoy. Have you painted lots of them so far, or is it a first dabble? Not for no raw. Tan leather is way too expensive. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's if you can't get the materials, it's not as easy. Strange that it's so expensive. Painted many, completed few. Very fair. I feel like that's the curse of miniature painting, isn't it? It's like, oh, look at the shiny that I'm painting. Oh, it's going really well. It's going really well. Ooh, shiny. You find something else that grabs your interest. Do you have a Necron army, or are you? Is it just something you're doing for fun? So I tend to paint just for fun. I just pick up models that I like. I find I like the look of, and just paint things that things that I think are cute or cool or pretty or whatever. And I'm one of these problematic people who normally has a couple of projects on the go at the same time. So while I'm painting the Black Coach, I've also got the Forge World Fulgrim Transfigured kit in the background. Frantically trying to get the list ready for August tourney coming up 2k points. Oh god, and you have to... Necrons. That's a lot of Necrons. That's a lot of Necrons. And I suppose you can just go for tabletop standard. They don't have to all be display standard or something, but you're having a sandwich and a salad at the same time. Problem for who? Who are these rule makers? This is true. This is true. This is true. I guess I make rules for myself, which I don't really... Well, I shouldn't be doing for one, and don't need to be following either. Thank you so much for the resub, Mercy. You alright? How are you doing? Who are these rule makers? How are you, my friend? Hola! Hi, Red, you alright? You good? Painting goes alright. How's the recovery going? How are you feeling? Hopefully pain-free, other than the surgery pain. Ridiculously good? Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. So you're basically textbook example of the recovery. That's amazing. How was it sleeping on your back for the first time in God knows how long? Or being able to fall asleep or laying on your back comfortably? You can feel where all the pain was, but it feels fine. Oh, that's awesome. So nice and weird. I gotta say, I love lying on my back in bed. I normally fall asleep on my back and then end up on my side. And yeah, not being able to lie on my back would be a problem. If I'm even remotely cold, I'll start on my side and then with my little T-Rex arm tucked under my chin. But it's if it's warm enough, I'll be on my back. If you ever get back issues, go to Rotterdam. Okay, noted. Because that's where the good doctors live. The magicians. Noted. It's a hell of a journey, though. Although I do feel like I'd probably be able to see me sooner than NHS doctors would. Bless them. Walking 2 hours after the operation, that is silly. Many years ago I dated a guy who also had a hernia, but his was in his groin, like in his lease. And they made a tiny incision, tucked everything back in, put some like surgical mesh on the inside, attached that, and then stitched them back up. And like you say, he had they gave him a epidural, like a big old needle in the spine. So he was awake for it. And the only reason why he wasn't allowed to essentially leave straight away was because they always want people to be able to go to the bathroom after the procedure, so they know that everything is working. So he had to wait to be able to pee. I know how you described the position and stuff that they put you in. I got the impression from that video that you sent that guy also was propped up in a similar undignified position. Because you sounded like I was a bit surprised that they positioned you like that, but I guess putting the tension on your back that way makes it easier to find where they need to be. But yeah, I'm so glad for you. And these Tomb Lords are old world models. They are part of Age of Sigmar Nighthaunt. So they are the Black Coach kit, which is this thing. Like a coffin, and it has a little like a canopy that goes on top, and then it comes with 2 sets of 2 horses, like ghostly horses that go like so. And the other ones, if my camera will focus on them, thank you. Yeah, they're really, really cool. Age of Sigmar has some ridiculously cool models. And there's 4 of these ghosty guys. That one sort of goes on the back of the carriage, the wagon thing. And this one goes on the right-hand side, sort of floating next to it. That one on the left side. And then this guy is like the whip master. Where do I keep them all? That on eBay, my friend. No, I have a big old. You can't really see it with the fuzzy, but essentially that section over there, that is a IKEA Billy the bookcase with glass doors on it, and it's full of models. And we're slowly outgrowing the bookcase, so we need to come up with a way to store more. But I've also, because I don't have an army that I need to worry about, I can just buy whatever models I want to paint. Not sure if it's the PAX system. It's the Billy the bookcase, the normal, like the super generic Billies. Let me have a look if it is the PAX. I don't think it is. IKEA PAX wardrobe. No. So the PAX is oh, is it? No, packs are more wardrobes. I wish I could show you. If I change that camera, I won't be able to get it back in position anymore. But it's, if you think of an IKEA bookcase, that is basically it. This one is just white, and you can buy glass doors to put on it. My desk is also IKEA, and the drawers are also IKEA. I'm a bit of a... I really like IKEA. It's I like building IKEA. I like having IKEA stuff. I don't really know why, but it just kind of makes me happy. But yeah, the standard Billy the bookcase comes with, I think, 2 fewer shelves than we installed in this bookcase. So we have quite a lot of space, but it needs to hold models for 2 people. And as my partner does actually have an army, he needs space for his army. It's easier for me because I've just got mostly Sylvaneth. Got a bunch of Age of Sigmar stuff. I've built a few Skaven. Idoneth Deepkin. Quite a lot of those as well. Don't tell me also Swedish meatballs. I mean, can't go to IKEA and not have Swedish meatballs. It's like a sin against shopping. You need the lingonberry sauce as well, or whatever sauce it is that they come with, and the weird creamy sauce too, and fries, obviously. Oh yeah, I really like IKEA. I haven't been in probably 12 years. Because the nearest IKEA to us is about an hour and a half drive away. And our car isn't particularly... I mean, our car is great, but it's not huge. So if we were to buy anything from IKEA, we'd have to get it delivered. And I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of going to IKEA and like filling your trolley with all kinds of stuff that you don't need, and then having to leave half of it at the delivery counter is always a little bit depressing. So, you don't think you've had them? It's worth going. It costs fuck all. There should be, I mean, knowing IKEA, there's probably an IKEA near you somewhere. So it's worth trying. Basically, you want them with everything. So with the sauce and the berry sauce and the fries. I think the last time I went, it was like £4 or something for a plate of meatballs. So it's really not expensive. I love IKEA. I'd like to get a new sofa at some point. I'd like to get one from IKEA. Not that I particularly need a new sofa. We have two small leather sofas at the moment, which we were given by Nivian's mum and stepdad when they moved to Spain and they couldn't take them with them. And we were just moving in here and they were like, would you like some sofas? And we were like, yes please. But leather in the summer is really cold. Really sticky, sorry. And leather in the winter is really cold, so I'd quite like a nice IKEA sofa, like a velvet cover or something, and then just get like a dog safe cover to go on it, so I can wash the cover and not have to worry about the actual sofa. It's a fairly big one near Eindhoven. It's like 30-minute drive. You never have a reason to go there. Well, you don't have to like buy big furniture. They also do everything homeware related. So if you ever need a rug, or if you need cutlery, or you think you might need a your sofa from IKEA has storage under and a huge yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I love IKEA sofas. I think my mum has one, but hers is massive, and she's now moving to a smaller house, so she can't take it with her. She doesn't want to take it with her either because it's dead, basically. But yeah, IKEA is the kind of place that essentially is the Lidl of furniture shops. So you go there and you have in mind, oh, I need to buy a new desk chair and maybe some pillows. And you leave with pillows, cushions, probably like some mattress covers, duvet covers, a new cutlery set, spatulas, you'll have curtains, paintings. They actually sell paintings, and like framed art and stuff. Yeah, I love IKEA. Your whole house from IKEA, including all accessories. Yeah, exactly. It's I know that for someone who has a lot of money and has like a fully designed house, etc., IKEA is probably the worst of the worst. But if you're a little bit money conscious and just want to have a comfortable house, IKEA is an absolute godsend. You walked around IKEA for 2 hours, came home and bought nothing and never went again? Really? Oh, I love IKEA. You need to let the Swedish flow through you. Let it fill your veins with its meatballs and Allen keys. Pretty much get everything from Ball. Yeah, that's fair. I'm very much like that with Amazon, which is problematic, which I know. But it's so easy to be able to buy something, try it on, and if it doesn't fit, you just send it back. I have way too many things. Like, I would have to actually go into town, spend hours and hours and hours trying different shops, walking through them, trying to find something that I would like, that I want to wear, hoping that it will be in my size and it will fit properly, and that it's not way too expensive. To you, IKEA has low and very high quality items. High quality items for you is great. You don't need a €1,000 chair from a fancy job. No. Yeah, I say that I do have an expensive chair in the office inside, which I'm very happy with, to be fair. But yeah, there's very few items I feel that I need to have, and there's almost nothing that I need to have in a designer brand or anything like that. I don't think I've ever bought anything specifically designer. Not consciously anyway. But yeah, I did pick up a Secretlab chair because I was on like my third cheaper brand, like stationery supply store chair, and they were all uncomfortable, and I just didn't want to spend another 120 quid on a chair that wasn't really good, and that was going to be sagging in a year's time. So I decided to splurge on a bigger chair. Nivian gave part of it for my birthday. I think he part paid for it, if I remember correctly, and it was huge. Your next desk chair is surely going to be £1,000. You're got to protect your body, yeah. So I'm very happy with my my Secretlab chair. I feel it's the right choice for me. I hear a lot of people have that same sentiment, but I've also heard good things about things like Herman Miller chairs and stuff like that. But they are very expensive. Looking at Herman Miller, they're supposed to be leading in ergonomics. Yeah, exactly. Also, it creates a house that when you damage something, not the end of the world. Yes, I 100% agree with that. Especially owning pets. I would be very, very, very upset if my cat peed on my very expensive curtains, but because I buy curtains that are easily washable and cheap, I'll come home, I'll be annoyed, take them off the rail, chuck them in the washing machine with the cat urine, like the stuff that breaks up the enzymes that break up the Centim cat urine, and then hang them up again when they're dry. And besides the initial, for fuck's sake, why did you do that? I don't feel like strangling my cat too much, which is nice. Look at Herman Miller, but it's not your curtains anyway. Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of things that I own that I would be very upset if they were damaged. I think probably one of the worst ones would be the leather jacket that I don't even fit into anymore because I'm, well, long story short, too fat for it now. But I really like it, and I would be very sad if that got destroyed. What else? My models. I don't really own many things that I'd be upset. My PC. That's why you should get a dog and you keep ownership. Well, He's under the desk at the moment. I think it's between my feet actually. Yeah, he is. He's very tired. Yeah, cats, especially our cat, he's a little bit neurotic. I've never had a cat who is this on the spectrum, and I say that with all the love in the world because I know I am neurospicy myself, but this cat has issues, and we adopted him from the Blue Cross probably about 10 years ago now, a bit shorter than that, and he is just a walking anxiety attack, bless him. And when he gets stressed, he wheezes. So that's fun. He's a stress weir. And he'll make himself upset as well, which is quite funny. I mean, I say it's funny now, but it's not particularly funny. But he'll be sitting in the bathroom window, looking out, looking to the garden, see that there's a neighbor's cat in the garden, get really upset about that, go downstairs, want to go fight him in the garden. If we're not home, we can't let him out. We wouldn't let him out to go fight anyway. And then he'll stress, and then he'll give himself an actual bladder infection if we're not careful. The cat sounds like you without the peeing. Yeah, the cat like literally has given himself bladder infections in the past, where he's so worried about what's going on that he starts peeing blood after a few days, and the vet's just like, yeah, your cat's just a bit stressy. It's like, yeah, I know. And I have the questionable honor of taking him to the vets this Friday for his annual checkup and vaccinations, so he'll be hating me for the next month or so. But he's very sweet. He is probably the only cat that I've ever owned who's never, ever intentionally hurt someone. Like, even at the vets or anywhere like that, he's never, ever, ever intentionally scratched someone. Which is quite nice, I guess. The things we do for our furry kids, 100%. I would walk through fire for the animals, but yeah, I don't think most days anyway. I don't think they do the same for me. Which is fine. Don't expect them to be as obsessed with me as I am with them. But yeah, the money we spend on them, the time and energy that goes in them. 2 vet visits for the dog this month. Or like last month, I suppose. No, this month. 1 for the cat. But they're so worth it. Like people say, oh, like why do you put up with it, or why do you? Because they brighten up our lives. They make the house feel less empty. They have this little presence to them that just makes me happy. It would be a great time to get a dog. At least you're home enough to care for it, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that I can take my dog to work with me. So he comes to work with me 3 days a week, and the 4th day he goes to daycare because it's boring for him at work. So. But yeah, it's I wouldn't have gotten a dog if I wasn't in a position to take him to work with me. Because I don't like the idea of him either staying home and having to wait for a dog sitter to show up to take him for a walk, or a dog walker, and multiple days of daycare. Also would be a bit too much for him. I think he would be completely overloaded. He does 1 day a week, and that was today. And the fact that I haven't heard him for the last 2 hours. He came in here with me when I set up. Took himself off under my desk, and the only thing he's done is change position. He went and moved to the doormat for a bit. I had a little nap underneath my tripod, and now he's in front of my feet under the desk, so he's very tired. I think one mistake people make when they get dogs is getting a feet warmer. Yeah, exactly. Is getting a dog when they're home and then not realizing that because they're always home, the dog isn't used to being able to stay home alone. It's was a big problem with a lot of people who got dogs during COVID, because they were all working from home, and all of a sudden people had to go back to the office, and these dogs who were puppies during COVID hadn't really been socialized because no one was allowed to go out, and hadn't really learned how to be alone. So loads of dogs ended up in shelters because people couldn't take them to work, couldn't leave them alone, and their working situations changed again. There's a lot of COVID dogs are in shelters. Yeah, it's everywhere. And unfortunately, almost all of them are really badly socialized because no one was allowed to be socializing. So all these dogs, a lot of them anyway, are very don't really know how to deal with other dogs or other people or stuff like that. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie and say that my dog is perfectly habilitated. He's also got issues, but highly allergic to pet fur, so lizards, snakes, and fish are our go-to. It's a bugger taking fish for a walk. Ladies' thoughts. I know, right? It's you'd think that they'd be grateful, but I do like snakes. For ages, I thought I wanted to get a snake, but I realized that I very much enjoy cuddling and I'd feel a little bit bad about subjecting my my snake to my obsessive. Oh, I'm gonna pick him up and carry him around the house stuff. Well, people don't know how to properly teach and train dogs. Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, there weren't really any puppy classes or anything like that, so people couldn't learn that way. And with all the conflicting information you get online on dog training, it's hard. It is very hard. It's very hard, and I don't blame anyone for having problems, but like if it were me, probably I think I wouldn't be able to bring myself to give up my dog. I would go find all the dog behaviorists and stuff that I could find just to keep my dog with me. Like, I'm the kind of person who would sooner not eat myself than have my dog not eat. Because I'm a weirdo. Not that that's ever come up, but it's yeah, he's a very spoiled dog, let's put it that way. Same, your dog gets food first, yeah. I always feel like it's our responsibility. We take these animals into our houses, into our lives. It's our responsibility to look after them to the best of our abilities, because they can't look after themselves. So to me, their needs come before mine. One streamer followed his dog in daycare for like 5 days a week, thinking, why even get a dog? Yeah. The only reason I take my dog to daycare is for the socializing and to keep him like entertained for a day. Because otherwise my office is very boring. He has to stay like in his he has his own room in the back office essentially, with all his toys and his bed and stuff like that. So he's comfortable, but it's not very interesting, and he'll just sleep, which is fine. But I feel like if he can go on a nice woodland walk and play with other dogs and get entertained by a bunch of people who are specifically trained to look after dogs, then he's gonna have a good time doing that. But I wouldn't do it for 5 days a week, because that feels just weird. So people find it weird that you give your dog steak and other high quality meats. I mean, my dog is a very fussy eater. He's always been a fussy eater, even as a puppy. I've tried all these different kinds of dog food. I specifically haven't cooked for him myself, because I don't want to have to cook for my dog and that be the only thing that he will eat, kind of thing. But he gets, I've tried almost every, I say that's not true, a lot of the fancier dog food brands that are all like non-processed kind of stuff. So things like, there's a company called Years, and they cook fresh and they package it in like big trays with portion size things, and you can feed your dog portions of that, and you can just see like the peppers and the butternut squash and all the veg and the meat in there. It's human grade food, it's just doggy stuff, but he goes off stuff, so he'll like it for about a month or two, and then he'll just stop eating it, and then all of a sudden I have to go scramble to find something else. So he's now back on Butternut Box, which is a frozen dog food, similar to Years, just frozen after preparation. And hopefully he'll eat that for a bit, and then he can go back on Years. when he's tired of butternut box. I had him on Tails for ages as well, which is also a fancy dog food brand, but his tummy didn't agree with that one. If you want to eat it and you want to feed your dog it, I'm not quite that particular about it. But he does get, like, I will always have frozen or bags of frozen chicken and rice that I've cooked, which I mix through his food because he has a dodgy tummy a lot of the time, so he needs some really easily digestible stuff. He gets a spoonful of that through his food, and he loves that. So obviously that is basic, but yeah, I won't. Like, he gets steak on his birthday, kind of stuff, and if we have steak, we'll cut a piece off for him so he can have some as well. But I wouldn't feed him steak entirely for dinner because I wouldn't be able to live. Like, it's very expensive. You won't feed him steak every day? No, okay. No. It's, he's allowed it sometimes as a treat. George sometimes gets some, like on his birthday, for example, or for Christmas, stuff like that. It's his birthday in a few months. He'll be 3 in September. And I'll bake some more cupcakes for him. So they're doggy cupcakes, just without stuff that dogs can't have. On his first birthday, he that was very close to his vet checkup. So I took a load of cupcakes to the vets with me. And they had a little birthday party. They brought out the dogs that were non-contagious but staying with the vets for longer. So some of the vet tech, their own dogs, and a couple of the dogs that were staying overnight for whatever reason, they brought them out, and everyone was getting little cupcakes. It was very cute. He also likes green beans, and when he's sick, you just cook rice without anything in it, minced meat, also without salt or spice, and he gets a better stomach. Yeah. For my dog, it's rice and chicken in that same way. Welcome back. How are you? I hope your meringues came out okay. It was very cute. It was a very, very cute birthday. They had a great time. I think I have pictures somewhere of it. I'll see if I can find them later, and I'll stick them in the Discord. Because I did take some pictures. I have changed phones since, so my phone may have decided to reorganize the order of the photos, but I should have it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll post it. So it was very cute. They were all happily eating cupcakes. So the few hours till they're ready, but mixing and putting in went well. Nice. Yeah, they still need to cool, I suppose. Do you do anything specific to your bowl, your mixing bowl, before you do your egg whites? I've heard some people say that they rinse it out with vinegar or something to make sure there's absolutely no fat in that bowl, so the whites stay stiff better or get stiff better. That's a really awful sentence. Don't clip that. Just take that cupboard. Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you do your mixing bowls go in the dishwasher? Because they tend to get things very clean. Fat residue stops the egg white for stiffening. Yeah, it's yeah, you should. Like, nah, just leave all the gunk in and just put it in the cupboard. That'll be all right. It's always funny to me when like on cooking shows when if they're supposed to be doing egg whites and they're struggling, it's always because the bowl was dirty or not perfectly clean. Speaking of, I wonder when the Great British Bake Off starts again. Stainless steel, nice and easy. Yeah, that helps. I really love the Bake Off. That always makes me very happy. I don't enjoy other cooking competitions. I guess I don't mind the Dutch version. Heel Holland Bakt is also similarly quaint and cutesy. Not a fan of things like Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. Like I get that Michelin star cooking and stuff like that is very entertaining to watch for some people, but I prefer watching bakers, and I don't like it when the bakes fail either. The celebs versions are always funny. I agree, yes. Way too stressed. I always like Gordon Ramsay with kids though. He's very nice with kids. Which is a nice contrast compared to his behavior with adults. That's where that meme came from, the Gordon Ramsay one, where he has the idiot sandwich, like me with other people, and it's Gordon Ramsay just hugging a little girl who's having a panic attack over her bake or whatever it is she's doing. She's like, oh dear, gorgeous. Me with other people, and then it's Gordon Ramsay with some girl and 2 slices of bread, and me with myself. What are you? I'm an idiot sandwich. The UK versions of Ramsay's shows are always more compassionate instead of shouting in the US version. Yeah, that's true. That is true. A little bit less sensationalist. Doesn't quite have to be such a big spectacle on the English versions. Funny how many people are getting cancelled for toxic work culture. So bullying someone as an idiot sandwich on TV is fine. I think to a point, those people know what they sign up for. They know that they're going to get shouted at and that they're going to be belittled and being called all kinds of things. They probably have to sign loads of waivers that they won't sue for emotional damage or something like that. The work he's done with prison, that's 100% true. I very much agree. He has done some excellent work. Was he the guy who... It was him, wasn't it? Who did the whole prison program thing where inmates could learn how to cook and they had to be very careful about all the knives and everything, and he wouldn't get away with it on UK TV like he does in the USA. He was one of your customers for the last 8 years. Really? His house in Cornwall is 5 miles down the road. That's amazing. Says something for your meat and stuff that he was a customer of yours. Must have been quality. How was he in the shops? So it's top 28 Michelin star restaurants in London. Oh, amazing. That's a proper claim to fame, that. I always get the impression that people like him, where they're portrayed as these absolute ghouls on TV, are actually really, really chill and decent people in real life. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but in my silly little brain, he seems really nice. What happened to the other two in the top 30? It took 37 years to get to that position. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's hard to get to the top, and those Michelin star restaurants will require the best of the best quality, so getting them to even try your wares must have been a journey. They didn't treat our beef the way we expect, so we rejected them. Oh, that's nice. I met the current NATO chef a few years, and he's exactly the same how he's on TV. I don't know if I've seen the NATO chef. Oh, that NATO chef, Margaret. Yeah. So a little bit ditzy and nice. I always liked the videos of him arriving at work on his bicycle. Don't know if he still does that now that he works for NATO, I suppose, but... Just a regular guy. Nice. I can appreciate that. Cool, that's blue enough for me. Let's see if I can... What kind of green do we want? I think we'll just glaze on some greens. Some of that and some of that, I think. Not a lot, just a bit. Are you doing okay there, buddy? He's lying with his body on the ground, but his chin on his mattress. Bless him. Right, here we go. Add some greens. Start on this weirdo. What do you mean green? I barely see it. Yes, but that's the point. The shop that I used to work at used to get a lot of celebrities, like Dutch celebrities. Some of them are really nice. Or most of them were really nice. Like we had Joep van het Hek and we had... what's his name? He's a comedian and he's in like... It's a shaved head, like millimetered. Quite big lips. Anyway. And we had a bunch of authors who would come in regularly. And we had Halina Rijn and Carice van Houten. And let me tell you, no, not Najib Amhali. Very Dutch, I think. Najib Amhali would have been nice, actually. Theo. I want to say Theo. Ja, Theo achternaam vergeten, ja. Comedy. Yeah, Theo Maassen we had as well a few times, but that's not the guy that I was thinking of. Oh well, doesn't matter. No. He used to do stuff with oh my god, I've been out of the country for too long. Ruben Nicolai and who was a big tall bald guy on the llamas. Carice was an absolute see you next Tuesday. Yeah, I think he was in the llamas. If I remember correctly. Did they have 2 Theos on the llamas in the later seasons? I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure now. I forgot all their names. Yeah, it's not really important. They were all really nice, but Carice and Halina Rijn were both absolute monsters. Halina Rijn actually, Carice was just very very entitled. And very, she was on the phone. And just rude. And Halina Rijn nearly ran over my my co-worker's wife and daughter on a zebra crossing. He does look like Gabbertje, yeah. The llamas cast. Yeah, he was on the llamas, see? So not Tel Bekkant, not Ruben Nicolai, not Ruben van der Meer, but Jeroen van Koningsbrugge. There we go. That was him. We got there in the end. But yeah, he was nice, and Joep van 't Hek was very nice. Maarten van Roosendaal was one of our regular customers. He was an author. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful, kind man. And we were all heartbroken when he passed away, and his wife came to tell us that he'd passed away. It was heartbreaking. I lived just down the road from our shop, so they were regulars. Ruben van der Meer, yeah. Didn't know he spoke Welsh, actually. Very Dutch. I'd love to be able to speak Welsh. Welsh is really, really cool. But yeah, we used to get loads of them. Our shops had a couple of branches, but the one closest to the Vondelpark in Amsterdam was a bit of a hotspot for people who lived in the area, and all the smokers would go there, and we'd have like toys and things for, or rather presents for people. Say if someone forgot to buy a birthday present, we're on their way to the birthday, still had to get something quickly, they would come to us because we'd have all these like novelty mugs and funny cheese grater and stuff like that. Just end the sentence with go on your Welsh. What made this shop so special? It's very fancy. It looks really really nice, really well looked after. It's a bit like I'm going to compare it to W.H. Smith's in England, but that's not really bear with, I'll just show you. I can just show you a picture. So if I got images. Ideally one that isn't super blurry. This is the one, that's the one that I used to work at, on the corner. And if we look inside, Loads of pictures of inside as well. This is the wrong branch. I used to work at that one as well temporarily. But yeah, here we go. That's inside. Like very. It looked very fancy. We sold books and. It's just very nice. It's a very nice range of stores. I think there's like 5 of them now, or 6. There's only 2 when I started there, and they grew. The owner's done really well. It's a really good concept. So cigarettes and tobacco, some alcohol, but also things like scented candles now, and it's always very yeah. It's like it's a bookshop. They advertise as books and greeting cards and magazines, like any kind of like weird, like more novelty or specialty magazine they would sell, like the fancy high-end fashion magazines, that kind of stuff. But also tobacco and cigarettes and lottery stuff, so Staatsloterij and scratch cards and the weekly lotto stuff. So we'd get a little bit of everyone, like all the different types of people, and it was always sort of an internal competition between the different stores to see who had sold the most of the like the good categories. Like books was its own category, greeting cards was a category, magazines was a category, and stationery was a category. Tobacco and stuff was also a category, but because there's basically no profit on that, we weren't really interested. Did the famous people buy lottery stuff? No, they did not. Not from me anyway. Not that I can remember. They may have done when I wasn't there, but the times that I was there when they were there was when they were buying presents. They were on their way to a party or something, and they wanted something like a nice book or Mr. Red, how are you? Yeah, they were on their way to a party and they wanted a nice book recommendation or a magazine, or like we had some really these really fancy like coffee table books, like really really big books with like really full color photographs and stuff. We sold loads of those as well, so people would come for the interesting gifts and stuff like that. Doing good? I'm glad to hear it. I'm doing alright. I think Snowy Red's doing really really well as well, which is very nice to hear. He's recently post-operation and it went really well, so. But yeah, we had quite a varied clientele, and it's probably the job that I enjoyed doing the most over the years. I've done loads of different jobs. I've had loads of different jobs. And I think that one is the one that I had the best time at. What's the normal price for these coffee table books? You're currently looking at a book called A Book Guide to Rebuild Civilization. It's 120 euros, I'm not sure. It depends. How big is it? Is it like one of these that's like that big, like massive and full photographs and stuff? It wouldn't surprise me. We had a book that was 150 euros. Like a Muhammad Ali photographs and stuff, and that sold. We always had to buy new ones of that. Just got your delivery of 2 Grudge Throwers and the Anvil of Doom. Amazing. The Anvil's heavy. Nice. I think I've heard about that guidebook to Rebuild Civilization. I don't think 120 is not. I don't think that's crazy. I think that probably probably about expected. But you can always shop around a bit. There's usually options to or it might be, if you're lucky, it might be on bol.com or something, and you might be able to pick it up during a sale or something like that. Yeah, full of, yeah, exactly. I love that. It's I heard about it. It's just essentially the way to rebuild civilization, I suppose. Should the worst happen. Taking up blacksmithing. Even the base is metal, really? Jeez. For what it's worth, I've heard good things about that book. Obviously, I've been out of the book scene for 11 years now, but it's the fact that I've still heard of it and heard that it's good and very comprehensive is probably, hopefully, a bit of a recommendation. But 120 euros is a lot of money to part with, so I do appreciate the hesitance. Books these sizes at similar price. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the big ones. We had a really large one of Muhammad Ali. Let me see if I can find that book. Muhammad Ali book. GOAT. No, it wasn't. It was good lord. So obviously this book is a book. This is the book. Decline. Greatest of all time. It comes in a big case with yeah, like a white box. And it looks, it's normally £100. It's now on offer there. But there's also signed versions. I don't know who signed it. Definitely not Muhammad Ali, I would say. I would be a surprise anyway. For $12,000, or it's £12,000. Unopened limited edition signed Muhammad Ali, £5,000. So basically, a book is whatever it's worth what anyone will pay for it, right? But there's plenty of books, larger sizes that would go for 100, 120 euros. We sold that one for, I think, 99 euros. And we sold it fairly regularly, like it would go quite often. And I call them coffee table books because they're the kind of book that you want to have on display, because it's a waste to leave them on the shelf. So people tend to store them on the coffee table for their visitors to leaf through when they sit there. Not far off for the... No, it shouldn't be. I mean, it's definitely worth having a Google just to see what other suppliers are charging for it. Like, it might be... Are you looking at Bol.com at the moment, or are you looking... Have you found another retailer that sells it? It might be worth going to a independent bookstore that isn't necessarily a guarantee that it will be cheaper, but they might be able to order it in for you if they don't have it. And depending on what they get charged themselves for by their suppliers, they it might be a bit cheaper. Plus, you're supporting a small local bookstore, which is always... You can only find it from the publisher itself on Amazon. Amazon's too expensive. They publish 120. Yeah. So normal like bookstore suppliers wouldn't be selling online. They wouldn't be. You wouldn't be able to find them on the normal. Like, it's a bit like, say, an electrical wholesaler or an electrical as or a Baumarkt, I suppose. Say you would go to the Praxis or something, but a tradesperson wouldn't necessarily buy their stuff from Praxis. They would go to a wholesaler. So depending on where your local bookstore orders their supply from, they might be able to get it slightly cheaper than those. Bol doesn't sell it. No, it's worth checking with the local bookstore. Oh, hola Ben, welcome back. But if direct from the publisher is 120, then that's probably just the price of it, and that's not a crazy price. It's a lot of money, but not a crazy price. But it's also a book that is genuinely chock full of knowledge and very interesting facts. So if you are interested in learning new things, then it's 100% something that you should be able to enjoy. How's it going, Ben? Welcome back. How's dinner? I'm assuming you stepped out for dinner. You like that kind of stuff? Yeah, I think you probably have a good time with it then. And I think a book like that, because of what it is, you probably won't read it in one go. You'll probably be reading through parts of it, putting it away for a bit, picking it up again a bit farther down the line. So you'll probably enjoy it for a very, very long time, and it's something that you can reference back later on as well. So you'll probably get a lot of time enjoyment from it. Or I imagine you will anyway. Starting to doze off, so you're going to head off to bed. Get comfortable. Have a good night. I hope you sleep well again, Snowy. Enjoy the freedom of being able to sleep on your back again. Dinner was nice. Amir Tirshana. I'm going to Google that. Amatriciana. Ah, I see. Amatriciana sauce. No, Italian. Tomatoes, guanciale, pecorino, Romano cheese, black pepper. Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks nice. A little bit like a spag bol, but slightly fancier. Hype building for 11.2, 100%. Must admit, I haven't really touched WoW in a while, so I am a little bit out of the loop. I asked Nick to remind me to sign up for the raid. I only just realised that I've not done that yet. But I am excited. I am looking forward to it. Be nice to get back into things. Even if I did enjoy having my Thursday evening, that was quite nice as well. It should be a good time. Sign up for the raid, yeah, thanks. I can't sign up here. It's the wrong PC and I'm not logged in here. And I don't think WoW's even installed on this one. I was one of those people who religiously used the companion app. So I was very upset when they cancelled that, cancelled the calendar option on that. Like, that was huge for me. Knuckles. White Wolf. How are you? How was your stream? What were you working on? How's it going? How's it going? Thank you for the raid. It's very kind of you. The bosses look fun. I have no idea. I haven't even looked. You're working on the Skaven? Yes, nice. Daughter kind of took over at the end. Cute. Cute. How are you finding the Claw Lord? Like, I like mine, but I know I messed up the OSL on it. It was my very first attempt at OSL, and it went badly. Optional, but it's not really optional. That drops tier, doesn't it? So that's what I heard anyway. Or like it drops like the best trinket or something stupid like that. So. Like, that'll be nice when we're just pushing for the clear on heroic or something, and everyone already has tier sets and stuff. But especially the first few weeks is not going to be optional at all. Tier shoulders and boots, which buffed a bit, yeah. Not optional at all then. Speaking of, I really need to do the content to level my belt up on my shaman. I've just realised I haven't fully done that. I got the belt when it was available immediately, and then I did more content on my hunter. So my hunter has has a higher eye level belt, I believe, than my shaman does, which is a bit cringy. It's a really nice model, the Clawlord. Really experimenting again. Yeah, I saw you using some different skin tones and stuff. Time walking for the first week of the raid too, so oh okay. So I guess we'll be busy. NMM again, but it's easy NMM. Easy in what way? I don't feel like there's such a thing as easy NMM. Oh, okay, Rusted Metal, yeah, that is easier. Still not easy, but easier. Black, red, dull orange, slightly brighter orange and khaki. Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't really done any NMM in a while. You did manage to get all the T2 recolor sets, nice. I haven't done much at all with the event stuff. I've been very, I mean, I would call it lazy, but I've just really been enjoying my time away from WoW. I love WoW, and it will always be like my game, but I love not needing to log in as well. Quite a lot of pressure on certain elements of the game, so it's yeah, I quite enjoy not having to do anything with it. Have to get a good amount down cleared for the first raid in the season. Yeah, we normally do. We've been pretty successful the last few raids with our content cleared. And we'll have some interesting news as well for people when we all come back. Flagonborn, you alternate between missing WoW and not missing WoW. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like, I love WoW. And it's absolutely the game. But I also really like when we're in between seasons. Because suddenly I have an evening off and during the week and I have all this extra time. Oh yes, yeah, good news. It's You'll probably be able to tell from the roster, to be honest, fairly soon. Very nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I put this top on originally to go with like one of these palazzo trousers, wraparound trousers. I bought it earlier this week and it arrived. And I was like, oh, this looks quite nice. And then I put it on, fit all right. Thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I started walking. I went to walk down the stairs and I realized that really the slit goes all the way up my up to my hip because it's probably slightly too small for me, these. So I need to get them exchanged for a larger size because so I swapped my trousers out, but I left the top on. You played it from beta to end of Legion with the same group of folks, and everyone kind of scattered to the winds. Got divorced from your ex-wife, you met in WoW, now a combination of not knowing anyone who still plays it and some unhappy memories of the ex. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, Nivian and I, we also met on WoW. My partner and I moved to England to be with my partner who I met on WoW, so it's always going to have a special place in my heart, this game. And we've raided with the same core group of people for a long time now. But it's I also know what it's like to lose a guild that you've played with for a long time. I've been in that situation too, so. Leaving clues? Well, not really. Your USA wife did the same. Yeah, it's try to go back and discover that if you don't have a core raiding group, the raiding scene is an absolute trash fire. Oh yeah, you don't want to do LFR or anything like that. It's horrible. It's really not very fun, and people are a bit toxic. But there are some decent raiding teams out there, and it's it can be really, really fun if you find the right people. It can be very enjoyable. But absolutely agree with it being miserable if you don't have the right people to play with. Like eye levels X below everyone and just start linking videos with red, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's... People are silly. They think that eye level dictates everything and that people with a higher eye level are better. Same, potentially worse, goes on with Mythic Plus. Like whole classes don't get invited for stuff because they're the wrong. They don't. Yeah, because you're the wrong. You're not in the meta, and you're not the perfect class for Mythic Plus, or you don't have the rating to do these, but the rating that they think you should have to do these dungeons, but you can't get the rating to do these dungeons because you're not being invited to to do these Mythic Plus. It's really, trust me, I know doing your add-ons and eye-level requirements and whatnot, and not no exactly. Trust me to know my class and my abilities and that I can do this content, and if I'm shitter then that's fine, you can tell me later. Keys don't deplete anymore for Mythic Plus now, so it's like, or they sort of don't, so that's not even a problem anymore, even if it goes wrong, and just try again. All that's lost is a bit of time. Mythic Plus where most of the guild quit WoW, yeah, I'm not surprised. Again, without a regular team, that can be very daunting and very unpleasant. It's, it can be great, but it can also be horrible. Like, I don't think I would play Mythic Plus or Raid if it wasn't for the team that I'm in, because it's I just don't have the confidence for it, and I don't want to get someone to give me a hard time over something that, like, look mate, I've got a job. I don't have time to sit on WoW for 16 hours a day and do your little thingies. Thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it, Jim. You alright? Group of adults who already raided 3 nights a week, and suddenly the expectation that you also had to run Mythic Plus over and over to fill in gear gaps. Oh god, yeah. Well, no, that's not fun. We raid 1 night a week. We used to do Saturday mornings as well, but it turned into it was just a bit too much. We were just a little bit fed up with the repetition of things, and people started bringing like their shit tier alts to the Saturday morning because that was the normal raids, which is fine. But they, rather than helping and supporting the Saturday morning runs with their slowly gearing up alts, they would just keep bringing different alts for other people to then carry and gear up. And it's like, hang on. Yes, they are. It is meant for gearing, but it's not meant for certain people to always carry everyone else. Oh, good, thanks. Yeah, not too bad. You'd rather run Delves than Pug Mythic Plus. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would never Pug Mythic Plus. Not in a million years. Ended up with too many tiers of stuff. Gotta do normal and heroic and then mythic, and everyone's gearing multiple characters and they all. Yeah. Yeah, I've never raided mythic. Other than the odd, like, oh, we've cleared heroic, do you want to try a couple of bosses on mythic kind of thing? And for me, Mythic Plus helps because we only have 1 night a week that we raid, and I do like the option to improve my items and get some other gear that was going to help me in the raid. It started to feel like a job. Yeah. You don't think you'd be playing if it wasn't for the group? Yeah, I think I'm the same. Be really sad because I've been playing it since I was like 19, so 20 years I think. I started just as Burning Crusade came out. Like a month after that came out. So yeah, it's I love it, but I also really understand why people don't. And I think a large part of the enjoyment for me stems from having the group and the right people to do certain content with, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing that content. It's just not very enjoyable if you don't have other people who are also invested in doing things right and progressing, but in a fun way and not in a way that is going to make me feel bad if I have to miss 1 night. Like we're all adults, we all have lives, we all have responsibilities and stuff, so it's we can't all just throw everything out the window and play WoW. And some people have way more time, and that's fine, but then please don't expect me to be a wizard. Check signs. Jumping through whatever for the social hoops LFG has developed is not what I'm interested in. No, exactly. That's why you hardly play anything anymore. You don't have the right friends for it anymore. It is hard. And it's hard to get like things set up because we're all so busy, so you actually have to plan when you're going to play, and usually gaming sessions are more of a like a organic thing, like, oh, I could really go for a game now and spend a bit of time faffing about on PC for a bit. And if you have to start planning it, it feels less fun. I just play Final Fantasy XIV very casually and spend most of your time painting minis. Yeah, same. I mean, we're on a WoW break at the moment between tiers, so I spend a lot of my time reading and sleeping, to be honest, at the moment. And painting minis, but not as much as I would like to. Wizard, but you're a shaman. I am. Back in the day, you could jump on any time and there would be 5-10 people online ready to go. Yeah, and then we all got old. People stopped playing, and people had kids. And we're too busy for video games. Too busy for video games. Which is fair. Like, we all pick our battles, right, and have our priorities. But it is sad to see that things like friend groups like that just fall apart. Yeah, the same experience with Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I think a lot of us have had same or similar experiences. Yeah, we all got lives. Too busy painting plastic for video games. I know, right? Ridiculous. But like with everything else, any hobby-related stuff, for me, I need to plan stuff because otherwise I won't do it and I'll just be happily reading my book on the sofa or something. If I plan my hobby sessions with my streams, etc., that's fine. And if I plan my WoW sessions because it's a once-a-week scheduled event, then I'll still do it. But if I don't plan it, it just doesn't happen. Which is kind of sad. I just don't have the energy for it anymore that I used to. To be fair, even then it was more of an escape than anything else. To be fair, painting plastic does feel like a pretty productive hobby, in a way. You should have something to show for it at the end of the journey. It's not the same with video games. Maybe bragging rights. If you've done something really special in your game. But looks awesome. Oh, thank you. F super glue. Oh no, what did you do? You leave the cap off. Got lives comment was worded poorly. Oh no, this is true. Like, this is why I'm not online as much as I used to be. I think I used to be online like 7 hours a day at my worst when I wasn't working. I say 7 hours a day, which is still pretty tame for a WoW addict, but it's just life catches up with us eventually. Which is both nice and not nice. I like that I have stuff that keeps me away from video games. Because these things are like my dog and other things that I really rather enjoy. But they do into your... You glued your fingers together, oh no. They do eat into your gaming time, unfortunately. Nighthaunt are so silly. They're so fun to paint. They're so chill. Very much like Sylvaneth. One of those armies that just works for me. I want to make a Nighthaunt army one day just to see what percentage you can do with the airbrushing. Like, oh, shitloads. I reckon you could do like 90% of them. If your control is good with the airbrush, you'd be able to do a lot. 50 sign at the moment, no surprises yet. No, that's it's probably going to be closer to towards the end of close to when we actually start again, because I don't know what they'll be playing. Your Stormcast game is inspired by the Stormwind Guard. Oh, awesome! I like that. They work hard. They work hard, the Stormwind Guard. A few Stormcast left to paint for a rainy day. You love your Stormcast. I've painted very few of them. I did one at RoseCon. Oh jeez. That made me jump. Thank you for the hydrate. Are they? Did you use true metallics or non-metallic metal? It's the one I did for, I think it was a Liberator. I don't actually know what it is. We did a, it was a small competition at RoseCon, and it was kind of fun. I only brought like very limited paint palette with me, but it was a good time. Silver and green gold trim, nice. Oh, this is really cute. George has just moved his paw and I've got a really warm paw on my foot. That's so cute. The cape's the only thing that take time on a Stormcast. Yeah, I suppose. If you can like slap on some like a speed paint or a contrast or something on. You freehand pattern them all? Nice. I've done very little freehanding. I think the main freehanding bit that I've done was on my part of the thing that I'm going to put on my Fulgrim's base. Cloak, the same design but different. Good line painting, yeah. Yeah, that is my main freehand claim to fame. And the little hand on the shoulder pad, because I didn't have transfers for this guy, so and considering he's just going to be on the base, he's just going to be a glorified base topper, I'm quite happy with that. And I did a little bit of line work on this lady. Yeah, I did seahorses, that's right. I did do those. A little bit of line work on this, but like looking back, I like them, but I would have done things differently now. But yeah. I mean, someone liked it enough to buy it, so I'm not complaining. It's the first ever model that I've sold to someone who isn't family or friend. It's pretty cool, so it was a cool model as well, just a cool sculpt. Thank you. It's fun. I like Nighthaunt. They make me happy. They're very satisfying sort of paint, to me anyway. I really enjoy this kind of paint job. Oh, it's painterly style. You're not doing heavy metal. Yeah, have you ever tried doing heavy metal ghosts? No guy who kit bashed Nighthaunt with Sisters of Battle. Oh, that sounds really fun. The Dark Arisen, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Follower goal at 390. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oof, that was loud. Sorry. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I'll have to do something special for 400 followers, I think. So have a think about that. Thank you for the stretch. Ooh, that was a good one. That cracked something. No, you're the 390th. So nearly there. I was just thinking that I should probably think of something to do for the 400th. But you were definitely a follower goal. Awesome. Right, so that is 4 guys with nice light blue robes with a hint of ethereal green, which I will probably touch up on the next stream with a little bit of Tesseract glow, I think. Yeah, exactly. Show us that picture, White Wolf. Show us the picture. I'm very curious now. Ooh, there we go. Ah, sick. That is insane. That's really cool. Have I? I am actually following them. I'm already following, so I'll like that one as well. Here's Diamond, such a nice guy, not a streamer. We can't all be streamers, I guess. I'd like to see how they get to this kind of job. Oh, I liked the tank, didn't I? I think I did. Yeah. Doing some, yeah. That's awesome. I like it that it's Morvenval. Yeah. I've done a couple because I've been following him for a while, so, or I think not for very long, but for a bit. It's cool. I like seeing what other people come up with and how they paint things, and it's quite yeah, gives ideas for future projects and stuff. And I'm not saying like, oh, stealing them all, but I like people's suggestions. And oh, sorry, you linked it to me on Whispers as well. For some reason, I didn't see that. That's interesting. It's one of the mediocre guys, and his tanks are gorgeous. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll need to keep an eye on that. I've never painted a tank before. I've not done very many vehicles. I've done some bikes. Have I done anything else? I don't think I have. These brushes. Oh, does your work? Ah, okay, cool. I will have a look at that in a bit. I need to, this is a synthetic brush, and I can tell because the tip is getting hooked, but awesome. I think, because it's getting quite late, and I still need to walk the dog, who is very much not interested. He is on his side. Done a black carriage. Who, me? Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. This one is mine. With that man in there. So I just realised that because I've done some OSL on here, I'm going to need to put OSL on this guy who's sitting in here. So that's going to be interesting. Anyway, it's some other time. Not tonight. It's a really fun, really fun model to paint. Just I'm having a really good time with it. So I very much recommend anyone who's interested in picking up something that they might not have touched before by picking up some Nighthaunts, because they are really fun. And on that note, I am going to create a raid, and I'm going to send us over to Thijs, because he is... oh, I should probably stick that in... Hi Cat, you alright? Finding us just as I'm creating the raid to go have a bit of support for Thijs, who is painting some... They look like tokens or something like that, so... Thank you all very much for hanging out. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all again on Saturday. I'll be here at a normal time, sort of 2ish, 3 o'clock UK time. And should hopefully be a good one. Thank you. Have a very nice rest of your Wednesday, and see you soon. Bye bye.